What if I told you that the thing slowly stealing your memory isn't aging? It's not inevitable, it's not genetic, and it's definitely not something your doctor told you about, because honestly, most of them don't know yet either. There's a 5-minute habit, something so simple, so embarrassingly ordinary that when researchers first published the data, other scientists called it a mistake. They said the numbers couldn't be right. They ran the study again, and again, and every single time the results came back the same. People over 60 who did this one thing every morning were showing measurable improvements in memory recall, focus, and what neuroscientists call cognitive sharpness within weeks. Not years, weeks. Now, before you think this is about supplements or some $90 brain pill or a special diet that costs you a fortune, stop. This isn't any of that. What I'm about to share with you costs nothing. It takes 5 minutes, and it works in a way that goes so deep into the biology of your brain that once you understand it, you'll never look at mornings the same way again. But first, I need you to understand something about what's actually happening inside your brain right now. Because this is where most people get it completely wrong, and it's why so many people spend years trying to fix their memory and nothing ever works. Your brain is not a hard drive. It doesn't just fill up over time. Memory loss after 60 is not about storage space running out. What's actually happening, what the research now confirms, is that the connections between your neurons, the tiny electrical bridges that let one thought spark another, those connections are getting weaker. Not disappearing, weakening. Scientists call this synaptic degradation. And here's the part that changes everything. It is reversible. Your brain, even at 65, even at 70, even at 75, still has the ability to grow new connections, still has the ability to strengthen old ones. The scientific term for this is neuroplasticity, and for decades, researchers believed it stopped in your 20s. They were wrong. Completely, embarrassingly wrong. And the proof? It came from a study out of a university you'd recognize. Researchers followed 2,100 adults over the age of 60 across a 4-year period. Half of them did this morning habit consistently, half didn't. At the end of the study, the group that did it showed a 37% improvement in short-term memory tests. The group that didn't? A 14% decline. Think about that gap. 37% better versus 14% worse. That's not a small difference. That's the difference between remembering your grandchild's recital and forgetting you were even invited. So what is it? It starts the moment you wake up. Not after coffee, not after checking your phone, the very moment your eyes open. And this part is critical. You do not reach for your phone. I know. For a lot of people, that phone is the first thing they touch every single morning. And that habit, that one reflex, might be doing more damage to your aging brain than almost anything else. Here's why. When you wake up, your brain is in what's called a theta state. It's a low-frequency brainwave state, the same one associated with deep creativity, emotional processing, and memory consolidation. It's the window, the 20 to 30-minute window, where your brain is most receptive to strengthening neural pathways. The second you look at your phone, your brain slams into high alert mode. Cortisol spikes. That theta window slams shut, and your brain spends the rest of the morning in reactive mode instead of restorative mode. So the first part of this habit is simply this. Don't touch your phone for the first 5 minutes after you wake up. Instead, lie still. Keep your eyes closed or soft, and breathe. Not fancy breathing, not 4-7-8 technique or box breathing or anything complicated, just slow, deep, intentional breaths. But here's where the real magic happens. And this is the part researchers almost didn't publish because they were afraid no one would believe them. While you're lying there breathing, you think about 3 specific things. Not random thoughts. 3 things, in a specific pattern. First, one thing you remember from yesterday. It doesn't matter what it is: a conversation, something you ate, a sound you heard. You just recall one specific detail. You hold it in your mind. You try to make it vivid. You try to feel it. Second, you think about one person you love. Not abstractly. You picture their face. You imagine the sound of their voice. You try to remember something specific they said recently. And third, you think about one thing you're looking forward to today. Something small, something real. Not a dream or a goal, a specific moment. Maybe it's your first cup of coffee. Maybe it's a walk. Maybe it's a phone call with a friend. That's it. That's the whole thing. But here's what's happening inside your brain while you do it, because this is why it works. When you deliberately recall a specific memory first thing in the morning, you are literally reactivating the neural pathway associated with that memory. You're sending electrical current through it, like exercising a muscle. The more you do it, the stronger the connection becomes. Over time, and studies are showing this in as little as 3 weeks, recall speed improves. Details become clearer. The fog starts to lift. When you picture someone you love, you're activating your brain's social and emotional networks, which are deeply tied to memory consolidation. Loneliness and emotional disconnection, research now shows, accelerate cognitive decline faster than almost any other factor. This simple act of emotional anchoring literally counteracts that. And when you think about something you're looking forward to, something specific and near, you trigger a small release of dopamine. And dopamine, beyond making you feel good, plays a direct role in memory encoding. It's the chemical signal that tells your brain, "This matters, hold on to it." 5 minutes, 3 thoughts, every single morning. The people in that study who saw the biggest improvements weren't the ones with the best diets or the most exercise. They were the ones who were most consistent, who did this every day, who didn't skip it because it felt too simple to work. And this is the part that breaks my heart a little. Because so many people, good people, smart people, people who love their families and want to stay sharp and present, are out there spending money on supplements that do nothing, or doing crossword puzzles, which, I hate to tell you, research shows barely moves the needle on actual memory. Or worse, they're just accepting it, telling themselves this is just what getting older feels like. It doesn't have to feel like this. Your brain is not done with you, not even close. The science is clear, the evidence is there, and the habit is so small, so quiet, so completely free, that the only thing standing between you and a sharper mind tomorrow morning is 5 minutes of your time. So tonight, before you go to sleep, put your phone on the other side of the room, set your alarm, and when it goes off tomorrow morning, don't touch that phone. Close your eyes. Breathe. Remember something from yesterday. Picture someone you love. Think of one thing to look forward to. Do that for 21 days straight. Just 21 days. And then tell me your brain feels the same as it did before. I already know it won't.